It's October, and Halloween is near. A month filled with ghosts and goblins and other spooky things. But nothing is more frightening than workplace injuries. Today, we will explore the two scariest and haunting types of injuries that our employees should fear the most. Do you think you can survive this harrowing tale? Find out as we slash 42% of workplace injuries in 2 simple steps. Stay tuned, if you dare. It's a monthly safety talk spooktacular.
Hand injuries are the most common injury within most workplaces, from pinch points, amputations, cuts, abrasions, soft tissue injuries. Our hands can be hurt in countless ways. And no matter the cause, hand injuries can create devastating and often permanent damage. I'm Brandy Geyer, HSE Business Partner.
Spooky statistics. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 1 million workers are treated in the ER for hand injuries and account for nearly 110,000 lost time incidents annually. 70% of those workers were not wearing gloves, and 30% were wearing the wrong glove for the task. Manufacturing and trade work account for 51% of the total hand injuries across all industries. We need to first understand the common causes of hand injuries so we can slash them from our workplace. The most common, terrifying hand injuries include accidental slips of the hand while using a sharp tool that causes a cut or laceration, unknowingly touching a sharp edge or burr, applying extreme force when using tools causing a slip and hitting hands into equipment, and pinching fingers between sharp objects. To protect your hands, you must use your head. Always stay alert and focused on keeping your hands safe. Work smarter rather than working faster. Always use machine guards. Report any problems with guards to your supervisor or health and safety business partner. When cutting tools are necessary, use a self-retracting or protected blade tool to do the job, and always be aware of hand placement. Never put your hands or fingers near moving parts of equipment or tooling. Always direct the blade away from you when cutting and keep your non-cutting hand away from the cutting line of fire. Always keep your hands visible by avoiding placing your hand out of sight. Most importantly, cut-resistant gloves are required to be worn by anyone performing work or handling objects. This includes working on the shop floor while using tools or handling parts and equipment, and even in office areas when using tools or handling sharp objects. Do you need gloves? Gloves can be found in the safety cabinets in your building, or you can contact your health and safety business partner for any additional glove needs. There is no single glove that provides protection against all potential hazards, so we must select the appropriate glove for the specific work task. Consider the degree of dexterity required, the duration of the task, the frequency of use, level of exposure, physical stresses, and toxic property of chemicals being used to determine the appropriate glove for the job you are doing. When working with chemicals, be sure to utilize the Chemical Glove Selection Guide and consult the manufacturer's recommendations, especially if the gloved hand will be immersed in the chemical. Gloves are proven to protect your hands when the correct ones are worn, but remember, never wear gloves within 6 inches of other equipment such as drill presses, lathes, or other exposed rotating parts. In these instances, gloves may be entangled in the moving parts, causing gruesome injuries. Work Instruction HSEP 302.02 provides guidance on correct glove selection based upon hazards present and the application used. This document can be found on the Indianapolis Safety homepage. The second step to slashing injuries is preventing slips, trips, and falls. The National Safety Council says that falls are one of the leading causes of unintentional injuries in the United States, accounting for 8.9 million emergency room visits annually. Scary slips. Scary slips are defined as a loss of balance caused by loss of friction between your feet and the surface you walk upon. Slips are usually caused by wet surfaces, spills, and weather-related hazards like snow and ice. Often, Slips occur because we are in a rush. We are not wearing the proper footwear. We are not paying attention as we walk. There are several steps you can take to minimize slips, such as avoiding distractions while walking by keeping eyes on path, taking shorter steps on slippery surfaces, often labeled walking like a penguin. Barricade, clean up, and report spills immediately to prevent others from entering the area and slipping. You should also walk in pedestrian walkways, as they are more suited to safe walking pathways. Terrifying trips. Terrifying trips occur whenever your foot hits an object and you are moving with enough momentum to be thrown off balance. To prevent trip hazards, we should maintain good housekeeping in our work areas. Keep cords, power cables, and air hoses out of walkways. When carrying loads, first pre-plan your route and ensure that you can see where you are walking. Be alert to changing ground conditions, especially when walking outdoors, and report any areas of concern. Frightful falls! Frightful falls are caused by gravity's pull whenever we move far off our center of balance. To avoid falls, use handrails when on stairs, wear the proper footwear, and replace your shoes or boots if the soles become worn. Most importantly, keep eyes on path and proactively identify and report unsafe ground conditions that lead to slips, trips, and falls. Also, follow the advice of Be Safe and the Safety Crew on their chart-topping hit Heads Up, Phone Down, which is currently number 1 on the Safety News Network's Billboard Top Hits for 8 weeks straight. Hand injuries and slips, trips, and falls account for 42% of our injuries at Rolls-Royce Indianapolis. By following the guidelines presented in this message, you can avoid being the star of your very own horror story. Remember that safety is a shared responsibility, and together we can minimize and even eliminate the risks of these hazards. Wake up, keep your eyes on task so that we don't have a nightmare on your street. Your hands are vital to your daily life. Don't leave work without them.